I am not looking for a wife. I am not collecting resumes or searching for someone to add to my life as an accessory. I am not someone who hopes for love in the way most people think. In my life, what I seek is a true companion, someone who can stand beside me without losing themselves. And the most important thing is, that person must understand that love is not perfection, but the ability to face challenges together without collapsing. When I look at the relationships around me, one thing is clear. Most of them fail not because of a lack of affection or chemistry, but because of a lack of identity. When someone enters a relationship only hoping to be saved, to be made complete, everything is simply dependency disguised as romance. Such relationships are not sustainable. They rely on rescue rather than understanding and cooperation. I am not building a future with someone I need to save. The person I want to walk beside is not someone waiting to be chosen, not someone who will rely on me to feel complete. She is not a satellite orbiting around me. She is a free planet, moving in her own orbit. She does not need my existence to find meaning in life. She had a complete life before meeting me, a life with her own vision and goals. Therefore, our relationship will not be based on salvation, but on deep understanding. If our paths cross, it is not because we are desperate, but because we recognize a rare strength in each other. Someone who can walk forward with me without needing to change to fit me. She must understand that love is not about merging, but about companionship, two separate, strong lives, but with the same goal. I do not need someone to create a sense of perfection. I do not want someone who will stand by me without being present in their own right. The person I want is someone who knows themselves, capable of guiding and building their own life. She does not need to complete me, does not need to change me. She just needs to be able to walk alongside me and grow together. A sustainable relationship does not come from seeking the other half, but from two people who are whole on their own, then building something greater together. Love in such a relationship is not easy. It is not perfection, but choice, commitment to face life's challenges without letting them break us. We will not wait to be saved. We will create a future together that both of us can be proud of. The relationship I seek is not one based only on emotions or temporary attraction. Love is not a test of charm or romance. What matters more is the ability to face real challenges with the pressures life places on each individual. I have been through enough upheaval in my life to understand that pure emotions do not last. When things get tough, emotions cannot save the situation. What holds a relationship together is the strength and resilience of each person. The person I want is not someone who comes to me only for temporary happiness, but someone who can face the endless challenges without being knocked down. When I look back at past failures, I realize one thing clearly. Each failure was not because we lacked affection, but because I entered those relationships with the wrong mindset. I thought love could solve everything, that if we were close enough, everything would work out on its own. But the truth is, love is not salvation. It is not something that can make every problem feel lighter. Love is only truly strong when both people can stand firm, no matter how tough the storm gets. A real relationship is not something you can build only on emotions. This is what I realized when I look at past relationships. Not everything I did was right, but one of the greatest lessons I learned is love is not something you keep searching for, but something you build when both people can endure each other in the toughest situations. Therefore, the first test is not the beautiful emotions we share when we are together. It is each person's ability to overcome great challenges on their own. Love cannot be built on dependence or immature emotions. It must be built on both people's strong independence, on the ability to stand firm in the storm without losing themselves. She must understand that our lives will not always be easy. She must not only love her own life, but also have the strength to face the challenges I face every day. The strength of character is what I need, not just in the easy moments, but in the most complex situations. The person I want must be able to face difficulties without being overcome, without letting emotions control everything. She does not need to be saved, but must have the ability to stand on her own and walk with me when things get tough. When we face challenges, I want my woman to be the one who will not give up, but will keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. Love is not easy, but if we can withstand pressure and still stand by each other, that is true strength. Love is not about seeking salvation. I have witnessed too many relationships fall into dependency where one person hopes to be saved and the other feels responsible for saving them. That is not love, that is dependency, a form of affection disguised as romance. A relationship like that cannot last. We do not build our future on dependency. I do not want a woman to come to me just to be completed. I am not looking for someone who needs me to exist. I am looking for someone who can stand firm even when I am not around, someone who can complete themselves and live their own life. Love is not something you seek to heal wounds or to feel whole. I have gone through heartbreaks in the past, and I understand that not everyone can complete the other. We are not incomplete pieces that just need to find each other to be whole. Love is not something you lack and search for to fill that void. It is two people who are already whole, independent, and free, coming together not to compensate for their shortcomings, but to create something greater together. The woman I want is not someone who comes to me to make me feel valuable. She does not need validation from me to know who she is. She does not seek love to find herself. She already is a strong, independent person with a clear life and vision. When we meet, it is not because we need to save each other, but because we see a rare potential in combining forces. We do not come together to fill gaps, but to create a powerful union where each person maintains their own values. I am not looking for someone to make me feel peaceful in every situation. I am looking for someone who can create peace for herself. Love is not something you use to escape loneliness or to avoid life's difficulties. It is not a solution to every problem. I am not looking for perfection in the other person. I am looking for harmony, independence within the relationship. When one person does not rely on the other to exist, that is when love can truly grow. We will not become people who need each other to live. Instead, we will choose each other every day because we recognize each other's value. My relationship is not about salvation. It is about partnership, mutual understanding, and respect. The woman I want is not someone who comes to me seeking safety or salvation. She is someone who comes to build with me, to overcome challenges together, and create a future. For true love is not about searching, but about building. Together, we will create a strong and complete life, not to fill gaps or shortcomings. She does not need me to find meaning. The person I want is not someone who comes to me to find the purpose of life or to find a reason to exist. She already has her own meaning in life. She does not need me to validate her worth because she knows exactly who she is and what her life's purpose is. Love is not about completing a person. True love comes from two people together, but each person must have independence in their way of living and their goals. She does not come to find herself through me. The person I'm looking for is someone who knows how to shape her own life. She has her own unique vision, a journey that I'm not the element she needs to feel complete. Our relationship is not to serve as a backdrop for each other's lives, but to complement and grow together. We will not come together because we lack something, but because we can add value to each other. Each of us will stand firm on our own foundation, and when our paths meet, it will be the union of two already complete individuals. Love is not something you search for to feel complete. If you enter a relationship only to find meaning in your life, then you are starting off on the wrong foot. I do not need a woman who only comes to me because she feels incomplete. I need someone who can look at her life with all its difficulties, challenges, and opportunities, and choose me because she realizes we can create a greater future together. She does not look at me as a savior. She looks at me as an ally, a partner, someone who can walk with her further in a journey both of us have created on our own. She does not need to change herself to fit me. She's already complete, but she knows that when two people truly understand and respect each other, they help each other grow and become the best versions of themselves. I am not looking for someone to be part of me. I am looking for someone to create something beyond both our expectations. It is not the joining of two halves, but the coming together of two strong, complete individuals. For me, love is not about saving someone, not about solving shortcomings, but about creating a future without limits. She does not need me to find her purpose. She already has her own purpose, and I find value when we can work together to realize those goals. When two strong people unite, they do not just make each other's lives more meaningful, but create a power that cannot stop growing. Not everyone is perfect, and neither am I. I am not seeking perfection in a woman, because I know that perfection does not exist. We all have flaws, mistakes, and weaknesses, but these are what shape each of us. I do not want an ideal relationship where everything is perfect and there are no conflicts. I'm looking for someone who can see my flaws, understand that I also have weaknesses, and still choose to stay. A real relationship is not about perfection, it's about acceptance and growing together. I have had relationships where I thought everything would automatically work out if we were compatible enough. But in reality, every time I tried to create a perfect relationship, I realized that it was not only unsustainable, but also unrealistic. A relationship is not about two people always being in harmony in every thought, but about how we face differences, how we overcome challenges, and how we learn from each other. A truly sustainable relationship is built on mutual acceptance, not on the expectation that one person will always fulfill every desire. I am not perfect, and I do not expect perfection from others. I have flaws, make mistakes, and I've learned from them. Failures have helped me grow, and mistakes have taught me how to stand firm and not be afraid to try again. Similarly, I want the woman by my side to understand that she does not need to be perfect, but she must have the courage to recognize her weaknesses, face them, and always strive to improve herself. No one is perfect, but it is the constant effort to become the best version of oneself that I am looking for. A relationship cannot be built solely on the expectation that the other person will never make a mistake, never fail. Instead, I am looking for someone who can understand that perfection is not the goal, but the ability to learn and grow. She must understand that in life, there will be times when we will not agree and times when we will face challenges that no one could have predicted. But what matters is how we handle those difficulties, how we learn, and how we do better after each setback. A real relationship is about sincerity and commitment, not about making each other feel perfect. So, not everyone is perfect, and neither am I. I am not seeking perfection in others, but sincerity, courage, and an unwavering determination to keep striving. I do not want an easy relationship, but a relationship that challenges us, where we can both learn, overcome difficulties together, and grow. Perfection is something that can easily be faked, but sincerity, resilience, and commitment are what I value and seek. Not every love is as beautiful as imagined. We often have an ideal image of love, where everything is always wonderful, smooth, and without barriers. But in reality, love is not a series of sweet moments or romantic evenings. It is a process, a long journey full of challenges, where sometimes we must face difficulties we cannot predict. Love is not always easy, and truly strong relationships are those that continuously grow through challenges and hardships. I have had relationships where at first I thought everything would be perfect. We both had common goals, shared passions, and built a future together. But then, when the pressures of life, work, and personal challenges started to take their toll, everything was not as easy as I thought. I learned that love is not always harmony and idealism. It is a commitment, a perseverance to maintain the relationship despite the storms. Great relationships are not built from sweet moments, but from the ability to overcome difficult times when both stand firm and do not give up. We often tend to look at love stories and dream about an ideal love where there is no conflict, no differences, but that is not realistic. Every relationship will face difficulties, times when love is not enough to solve everything. At those times, what matters is how we handle those issues, how we learn from challenges, and grow from them. Love is not about seeking perfection, but about facing and overcoming difficulties, not just because we love each other, but because we respect each other and are committed to building a future together. True love is not something that can be maintained solely by emotions. The emotions can change, and difficult situations will test the strength of the relationship. I do not want a love that is based only on momentary feelings. I want a relationship where we can face each other, not just in beautiful moments, but in the toughest times. What matters is not giving up, not avoiding the issues we must face. True love comes from the ability to stand firm in the storm, from understanding that things will not always be easy and perfect. Love is not always as beautiful as imagined. It is a journey with challenges, but it is those challenges that make love stronger and more meaningful. We are not looking for a relationship without difficulties, but a relationship where both of us can overcome every challenge together and grow. And when we look back, we will see that those challenges are what made the relationship truly lasting. Love is not about merging, but about companionship. I am not looking for a relationship where we become one, where each person must give up their identity to fit into the other. I do not want someone to lose themselves in the process of connecting with me. True love is not about merging into one person, but about choosing to walk together, maintaining individual identities while still moving forward together. When I think about great relationships, I do not imagine two people melting into one. What I envision are two strong, free individuals, but with the same goal, with the same vision. Love is not about assimilation, but about two people standing firm, yet walking side by side on a shared path. We are not perfect pieces that complete each other. We are separate, independent people, but when combined, we can achieve things that no one thought possible. Love is not about merging to please each other, but about companionship to create a future both of us desire. Each person has their own goals, dreams, and challenges. I am not looking for someone who will merge into my life, but for someone who will walk alongside me, not changing me, and not asking me to change. She is not someone who comes to make me feel complete. She is someone with whom I can create something great. She will not become a dependent part of me. She will stand by my side as a partner, as a companion with the same goals, but not bound by demands or expectations. The love I seek is one where both people can walk together without sacrificing what makes them who they are. If I and she have to change to become who the other wants, then that is not real love. True love comes from respect and the ability to accompany each other without losing our independence. A strong relationship is built not from personal sacrifice, but from understanding and commitment to move forward together, even when each person has their own path. Love is not about merging, but about walking together with all freedom and mutual respect. I am not looking for a relationship where we must give up what makes us who we are. I am looking for a companion who can stand by me in difficult times and build a future with me, not because we are lacking, but because we recognize the strength when we move forward together. True love requires understanding and maturity. A relationship cannot be based only on emotions. It cannot just be about sweet moments or temporary romance. Love must be built on a solid foundation of mutual understanding, respect, and maturity. Emotionally mature people not only understand themselves, but also have the ability to understand others, especially in stressful situations when things do not go as expected. Love is not about reacting impulsively to emotions, but about thinking carefully, about the ability to view issues in the relationship from a broader perspective, not being driven by fleeting feelings. I do not believe in relationships that are driven by impulsive emotions, where everything is done on a whim. A true relationship is one between two emotionally mature individuals who know how to face difficulties without letting them destroy the relationship. Misunderstandings and disagreements are unavoidable in any relationship, but what matters is how we handle them. If you cannot view the issue thoughtfully, if you cannot stay calm in difficult situations, then that relationship will not last long. Maturity in love does not mean always agreeing with each other. It means the ability to listen and understand, accepting differences without trying to change the other person. I do not need someone who will always agree with my viewpoints. I need someone who can face conflicts, who can discuss and resolve issues calmly and rationally. Understanding is not something that happens automatically. It is the result of shared experiences, of taking the time to understand each other, to learn and grow. When two people are truly emotionally mature, they will not let small misunderstandings or temporary difficulties destroy what they have built. A strong relationship requires a deep understanding of each other's needs, expectations, and feelings. If you cannot understand what the other person is going through, if you cannot feel what they need, you will not be able to respond in the right way. A relationship needs sharing, understanding, and a commitment to always listen and support each other, even when facing challenges. What is important is not to let negative emotions dominate, but to handle situations with maturity. True love is not a fleeting emotion that we chase after. It is a continuous process of understanding, growing, and commitment. If two people cannot grow and cannot understand each other, they will not be able to build something lasting together. A real relationship can only develop when both people have the ability to face challenges, learn from them, and continuously grow. She must understand that emotions cannot be reacted to immediately. In a real relationship, emotions are not always meant to be expressed as soon as they arise. Emotions can overwhelm reason, and if we do not learn to control them, they will lead us to hasty, wrong decisions. Especially in tense situations where everything may become impulsive, a real relationship is not tested by what happens instantly, but by the ability to maintain calm and think thoroughly. I have realized that in work and in life, Important decisions cannot be made from momentary emotions. When facing major issues, challenges require analysis, not rash reactions. Love is the same. Every relationship will face stressful moments, moments when emotions might lead us to unpredictable decisions. But it is precisely in such moments that the ability to control emotions, allowing us time to think, is the deciding factor in whether the relationship can stand firm through challenges. Emotions are an essential part of every relationship. However, if we act solely based on emotions, we will overlook the reason and clarity needed to solve problems. I do not want a relationship where every decision is made from fleeting feelings. I want someone who can pause in the moment, who can step back and think, understand the issue before making a decision. A relationship is not a series of automatic reactions, but a journey built on thoughtful decisions made with reason and understanding. I want the woman by my side to not only be someone who can share joy, but also someone who can face stress without reacting immediately. She must be able to understand that emotions cannot always be expressed right away. In work, I cannot solve a complex problem with just emotions. I must think, analyze, and find a rational solution. Love is the same. Sometimes, when conflicts arise, when emotions run high, we need a little time for everything to settle so we can view the issue from a broader perspective and make more accurate decisions. A real relationship requires emotional maturity, and this maturity cannot be achieved if every emotion is reacted to immediately. She must understand that major decisions in love cannot be made from hasty emotions, but must be built on understanding, careful thought, and patience. Love is not about emotional outbursts, but about commitment and the determination to work together to face difficulties without letting them break us. When both can understand and control emotions, the relationship will become much stronger. If she can stand firm, we will build a lasting future. I am not looking for a relationship just to have someone by my side when everything is going smoothly. I need someone who can withstand pressure, someone who can not only stand firm in peaceful times, but also in the most difficult moments when everything seems to be going against us. A real relationship is tested in times of challenge, when all surrounding factors might collapse. But if we can still remain steady, that is the solid foundation to build something long-lasting. In my life and work, I have learned that nothing comes easy. Great initiatives, projects like SpaceX or Tesla, all faced failures, skepticism, and times when it seemed impossible to overcome. But it is precisely in those moments that I realized the true strength of those who stood by me. They did not give up when difficulties came. They did not run away from challenges, but faced them with me and found ways to overcome them. I want my relationship to be like that. When things get tough, I do not need someone who will quit. I need someone who will stand firm, who will be the anchor, so that we can move forward together. Sustainability in a relationship does not come from avoiding difficulties, but from the ability to face and overcome them together. We will not just be separate individuals living our own lives, but will be a team, each strong and independent, but able to work together harmoniously to achieve common goals. She must understand that I do not want a relationship just to make life easier. The relationship I am looking for is one where we will face every challenge life brings, not to avoid them, but to overcome them together. If she can stand firm when everything around us might collapse, then we will build a future that is not just sustainable, but also strong. We will not build a relationship based only on sweet moments or fleeting emotions. A lasting relationship is one built from firm decisions, commitment, and the ability to endure every challenge together. And when both of us can stand firm, we will build a future that we can both be proud of. She does not need to be perfect, but she must be someone who can maintain her stance, who can sustain stability in the relationship, even when the world around us may change. If we can do that, if we can stand firm together, then nothing can break this relationship. We will build a future that is not only sustainable, but also complete and strong, based on commitment, resilience, and true companionship.